welcome to the Introduction to Psychology course. My name is Professor Howell, and I will be teaching this 15-week hybrid course. So with hybrid, that means there's going to be virtual class times and some in-person class times. These are non-negotiable, so if this is an issue, you will have to let me know and or drop the class. Just because we're trying to get back into the swing of things and having in-person again. So the virtual options will be required for you to meet between 8 and 9:15. I think that's the class time, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But you will only have to meet on specific days for virtual as well as for in-person. So that means if I do not list a date or say that we have class, then we do not have class. So I tried to make it as easy as possible. So only Tuesdays we have virtual. And it's not every Tuesday, okay? It's almost every Tuesday, but it's not every Tuesday. I think I give you a break. Some of the weeks that you have in person so that you're not doing both at once. This is just a way for us to kind of get used to things and get back into the swing of things with online and in person. So I have here in the course information is the Zoom information. Okay, so we will be meeting through Zoom, and we will be meeting through Zoom on these dates. So starting August 31st is going to be our first in-person session. Our first virtual session, okay, and in person on September 2nd. So that means on certain Thursdays, September 2nd, in person September 30th, November 4th, and November 19th. These are our only in-person dates. Now, I wanted to do a little bit more in person, but just with the Delta variant coming out, I didn't want to risk it, so that we have a plan and we can just kind of stick to this plan. Of course, I will be emailing and letting everyone know through Blackboard if anything changes. But 8 through 9:15 on these dates, virtual, you will have to be logged into your computer and will be able to access information and review the PowerPoint with me. So that's basically what the virtual class time will look like. It'll be reviewing PowerPoints, talking about discussion questions, a little touch point, and also some content explanation. So this should help you kind of feel more engrossed in the class. All right. So I haven't, again, explained synchronous sessions are always on Tuesday, and any in-person sessions, which there's only 4, is going to be on Thursday. And these in-person sessions are going to be very important because 2 of them you will be taking a test or a quiz. And the other couple of quizzes that you take will be online through Blackboard. So I'm going to kind of go through real quick how the course works. Okay, so you go to the announcements tab, and it'll kind of give you all the new announcement stuff, good information here. Okay, and then you can go to the syllabus tab, and that's where my syllabus will be. And if you click on it, it'll load the syllabus, but we can also take a look at it right here. So this is the syllabus. And we will review that shortly. Let me just finish up with the website. Okay, so we have weekly content. Now, it shows a lot more weekly content on my end because I haven't posted it yet. So once I post it, you will see a lot more. Once I actually make it available to you, you will see all the different things that you'll be required to do. But for week 1, which is where we're at, you're going to log on here, do the plagiarism video and why we cite. This is important because you're going to be writing some papers, and I expect you to cite your information either at the end of the paper and or in text citations. Don't sweat it. The first critical thinking journal will kind of walk through together, and I'm always available to discuss it. So it's going to be fine, but you can't copy and paste everything from Google. Okay, so that's out the window. You have to do some research and forming the information in your own words. Some of the things that help me, at least when I do that, is having a notebook nearby to me, and after I read something, I look away from it, whatever the source is. I write down the source in my notebook, and then I just kind of think about what was said, and then I kind of write some main thoughts about what I just read. And this is a way that you can gather information and have it written in your own words. And you still need to cite it because it came from somewhere other than your brain. So anything that is very specific and something new that you learned, you have to cite from wherever you learned it at. We have the discussion rubric, and this is pretty straightforward. The first discussion post is just an introduction, and I'm not, if you post and reply, you will get 100%. I'm not going to be, looking for different things because the first week is just getting used to it and getting to know everyone. And after that, it'll be straightforward. I'll have a question that I'll ask, and then I'll expect you to answer it using information from the PowerPoints or the books that we've read, and all of that. Okay, so conducting psychology research in the real world, and this is a discussion post review. This is just a little video that I did last semester. So, okay, so conducting psychology in the real world. You just have this little thing to read. It's pretty easy to read. It's pretty engaging, and definitely take notes because this stuff will be tested either virtually or in person. So you'll read this, and then after that there's some questions. You don't have to do the discussion questions, but here's all the vocab and everything. So it's pretty straightforward. Sometimes you'll have a couple required. So let's see. We go to week 2. Okay, week 2, we have this 5-minute research corner. These are just fun little things to kind of engage you in the psychology and how it affects all parts of our life. So this one is about military and carrying texts. So it's just, how the different ways we can apply psychology. Okay, so how IRBs protect human research participants, and brain personality maps in Victorian pseudosciences, and then you have 3 separate readings here, and then this specific reading for the discussion question. I may or may not post a content video. It depends. I might take it down, but I think I'll decide that a little later. I might keep it up, but I still want you to attend the virtual sessions. So some of the content might not be covered in these videos, so you have to come to the virtual sessions for that. Okay. So then we go for rubrics. We have the different rubrics. This is a critical thinking journal rubric. And we will review that probably in class. Discussion board. Okay, so here's the introduction, discussion board. Student success resources. This is very crucial, especially if you're struggling with different college type things like time management, note-taking, tutoring, study skills, all of that. This has different things on it. If you need the reading strategies, I can send it to you. For whatever reason, Blackboard doesn't like it when I copy and paste from different courses so that I teach. Okay. Psych career transfer information. This is where you will see your grades. So right now all I have posted is Introduction to Psychology discussion, and then you will also have the syllabus quiz coming up. So the syllabus quiz will probably be live by tomorrow, and you will have until this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. to complete it. It'll include the syllabus, but it will also include this first week of content. So just, make sure you take some good notes, and but it'll be online. So, okay, so now I'm going to talk about the syllabus. All right. Okay. So we have some core learning outcomes. And I can also review the syllabus in class, either virtual or in person, but this is just a way for everyone to kind of start getting on the same page. Okay. Here are the dates that were in person and online. So some of the ways to succeed in this course is to ask questions, especially when we're playing in the discussion forum. I need you to think of thoughts that are not typical everyday thoughts, okay? So I want you to really take in the information that you get either from the PowerPoints or the content, digest the material, and be very thoughtful in your responses. And a lot of them are pretty interesting. A lot of the discussion questions I try to make as interesting and as involved as possible so that it's a real world situation that you're kind of addressing. Okay, so the writing exercises in this course are designed to help you think critically about the theoretical concepts surrounding psychology and the application of these theories to the world around us. They are a fundamental part of your learning. And with the writing, I've had a variant of people who have written in my class. Some people had really excellent writing skills. Some people had, beginner level skills. Some people confided in me and said they didn't graduate college and graduate high school and all of that. So coming from that, I'm able to still work through the process with them if they are willing to allow me to give feedback and going to the writing studio. So even if writing is not your forte, you can still get a good grade in this course, especially if you improve from the beginning to the middle to the end. If I see some sort of improvement in your writing skills, then your grade can only go up. Okay. And you may have time in this course to review and edit work. It depends for partial credit. And so, take advantage of any of these opportunities. Progress report should have one around midterms. There'll be 4 different types of assessment. Usually on the week that you do not have a critical thinking journal due, you have a quiz due. It's not every week, but I try to offload the workload so that you're not doing a critical thinking journal and a quiz. I try to make it so that, okay, a couple weeks quiz, couple weeks critical thinking, that sort of thing. Okay. 1 initial post answering the question provided and 2 responses. And the initial post will always be due by Wednesday at 10 a.m. Not negotiable. The responses must be, at least one must be to another student's post, so you have to read someone else's post and respond to it. And these are due at Sunday by 11:59 p.m. So a total of 10 initial posts are required. But if you meet the total number, you're still encouraged to do that because it can only boost your understanding of the class material. A lot of students have told me that this part of the course really helps them connect the dots and talk to their peers about it. Critical thinking journals, you will be required to submit 1 to 2 double-spaced critical thinking assignment about every 2 weeks. And the dates are available on Blackboard. I will have it uploaded on Blackboard so that you can post it in there. So a total of 4 critical thinking journals are required, 3 of which have due dates assigned. The 4th is just due before December 7th. So some examples of possible critical thinking journals that I will do include gender differences in the U.S., gender differences in other countries, multicultural psychology, like choosing a different culture and talking about how collectivism affects it or individualism affects it. How do you learn? Talking about like social learning theory or operant conditioning, and really taking something from your environment and applying the psychological concepts. So that's kind of what I'm looking for with these critical thinking journals. And also current events. So if there's a topic that you are particularly passionate about and want to write about, I can maybe form some questions around it for you specifically, and we can add it as a critical thinking journal. You will be required to complete 4 content quizzes, okay, and the syllabus quiz. So syllabus quiz will be online. Quiz 1, which is biology of psychology, is going to be in person. Quiz 2, gender, multiculturalism, and lifespan, is going to be in person. Personality, consciousness, and learning is going to be online. Motivation, emotion, memory is going to be in person. Final assessment, you will be required to pick up from a selection of top projects. You can work on them throughout the semester. Paper on topic of choice, PowerPoint with student voiceover, paper presentation, and I'll explain that a little bit later down the line, but you don't have to worry about that for right now. Okay, here's the breakdown of the scores. It might not be 535 total, just because sometimes Blackboard is a little finicky with the point system, but I will try to keep it as updated as possible and let you know like your standing. So I will send out student success alerts if you're not contributing to the course or if your grade is at risk. Otherwise, assume that you're doing okay. Academic integrity, please do not copy and paste from anything. I find all of it. I used to do a lot of research. I'm going back to school in clinical psychology. I do a lot of research, so if you are trying to copy and paste information, it's not going to fly, and I have been encouraged more and more to report it. First time, I usually am a little bit more lenient, but second time, I definitely do report it and kind of let everyone know what's going on. So cite your information. If you're unsure about whether or not you're citing properly, email me and we can go over it. Okay, late work policy. If something kind of crazy happens, especially with the Delta variant, please email me and let me know. The sooner I know, the better I can help you succeed in the course. So don't hold it close to your chest. I really try to help my students, so definitely reach out. And here's just a very basic outline of things, which I will post in the announcements page so that you guys can all see that. But that's a syllabus and you can download it. Okay, so I guess the last thing I'm going to say is that when we're thinking about going back to school in person and the Delta variant, we're going to proceed cautiously because everyone has, I'm sure, a risk factor or, know people who have risk factors. So, and maybe you don't even believe COVID exists, okay? We have some of those too, and that's okay. But going forward, we have to follow the FCC policies, right? So you are required to wear a mask when you're in the classroom. If there's a huge issue, please let me know, email me, and we can talk about it, and I can try to figure something out. I really want to try to do assessments in class just because it's so much easier to grade and just have the results right away, so I can give those results to you much quicker than doing it virtually. And then also, if it comes to it, I can extend my hours. So when we do have in-person classes, and if they, stay in person, then I can stay at FCC so that Thursday until like 10 or 11 or 12, whatever. If you all want to meet with me one-on-one individually or have questions. So that is going to be an option. I live far away, so once I'm there, I'm good. I can stay there, but I can't, go home and then come back. So I have to kind of structure that. So if there's a time that you want to meet, we can always meet virtually through Zoom, or when we have the in-person sessions, we can meet. I think that is it. Otherwise, enjoy your class, and I really look forward to seeing you for our first virtual class next Tuesday. All right, have a good one.